As always, give me a shout out in the comments. Let me know who's here, who's in attendance. Let me know if you guys got any questions, got any deals that you're having trouble closing, you need anything comped, anything like that, right? We're always here to help. Today's topic that I'm going to be going into is follow-up, all right? Yesterday we did how to generate leads, how to find leads with no money. We used all public data research sites for skip tracing. I even used free data resources, right? So how to find leads, we went over that yesterday for Acquisitions Tuesdays. Today I wanted to go into like how to actually generate money out of that lead, okay? And the money is always in the follow-up. Everybody always says that. I'm going to go over actually what it means. Starting out, the one thing you have to understand is who are you following up with, okay? Is it a cold or a warm lead? These are two totally different things. You have to categorize them differently. You have to make sure you're keeping, just tag everything, okay? If you're using a CRM, make sure you're using tags for it. Make sure you're keeping everything organized. You don't need a CRM. Everything that I'm going over today is just starting out, okay? You can take everything that we're building and you can plug it into your CRM. That is not a problem. If you need anything that we're going over today, by the way, the cadences, the follow-up sequence, okay? Any of that, all of that can be downloaded. Just click the resource link down below, download the toolkit. That is in there. That is literally, I give you our cadences. So it's very easy to follow along if you want to. Cold leads are contacts that you haven't reached yet, all right? They do not know who you are, all right? These are the type of leads that we generated yesterday, okay? These are the ones that you have to build your own list, whether or not you're going to use a paid service for that, or if you're just going to do sweat and go out there and search and actually categorize leads. But they're all cold. They don't know who you are. They don't know what your interest is. So your route to that is completely different than if it's a warm lead, all right? You're now trying to get in front of them and even just educate them that they have a problem, okay? Every time you reach out to a lead, whether or not it's cold or warm, you want to be doing it multiple ways, okay? Every lead you want to touch at least 3 different ways, okay? What are those 3 different ways? That's calling them, texting them, and emailing them. Those are the simplest ways. If you're scared of one of those ways, right? Well, what about texting? I'm worried about I'm getting sued or something like that. Well, first off, don't touch the DNC list if you're scared of that. Obviously, scrub against it. But you can substitute one of those out if you don't want to email or text message, or if you're scared to call, you can go door knock, right? There's always another avenue to get to them. You can write them Post-it notes. You can write them postcards. That's another way, right? You can always substitute one way of touching them, but you need to do at least 3 with every lead you get. Whether or not it's cold, whether or not it's warm, all right? When you're first starting out, you're not going to have money for warm leads, right? Because that's where warm leads come from. It comes from marketing. So if you're not going to spend the money for warm leads, you have to generate money to then pay for marketing, all right? In the beginning, you want to be relentless. You're going to keep marketing until you're confident that it's a dead lead. Just because you do not get a hold of them, just because they respond and then they go dead again or they go silent, whatever, right? You keep on following up with them. You stay in front of them until you're confirmed that it's no longer a possible lead. I love it, Nick. Not to segue me at all or anything. Speaking of point, what was the result of the one you drove by yesterday? Not to interrupt your monologue. That's fine. I don't care interrupting me, guys. Ping me. Chat. Monday, I went, found a property, pre-foreclosure. It was in Plano. Monday evening, Lucy and I had to pick her up from the office. Lucy and I drove up. It was 10 minutes from her office. We door knocked it. Couldn't get a hold of them. I'm convinced somebody was in the house, but they were hiding. We are texting her, all right? So we're playing the long game with that, all right? That comes down to this. We can use that as a perfect example of the way we're gonna follow up with her. Right now, Mason is in communication with her, all right? I handed it off to the acquisition kid. She is now she's no longer cold. She's now communicating with Mason. She partially told Mason no, but at the same time, she didn't. She's in the follow-up stages, all right? And all that is Mason's going to continually reach out to her, continually touch her. He might call her from a different number. She's already in the system, so she's getting emails. He's texting her at different times of different days and all this different things, right? That's what we're going to go over today. So let me start using the board behind me. All right, let me get a little chaotic. Yeah, all right, you guys can read that. So cold one, all right, you're going to build your list like we did on Monday, or Tuesday, sorry. Monday and Tuesday, we both built lists. But you're going to build your list day one. Whatever that list comes from. Day one, you're going to, you got to pick three. Whatever three you like. The easiest three are cold calling, texting, door knocking would be your most successful. If you do those three, you're going to be the most successful. Let me tell you that right now. It's not physically possible to door knock every lead, so that's why I'm not going to put it on the board, okay? If you built a list of pre-foreclosures and you built yourself a driving for dollars list, let's just say, and you routed out 10 properties that you want to go hit on Tuesday, that is a perfect property to then go door knock, okay? But obviously, if you're pulling a list of 200, 300, 150, whatever you're doing, any bulk number, it's not possible to go and put eyes on every one of them. There's different tools you can use. You can use virtual driving for dollars. You can do all that type of stuff, but for today's conversation's sake, I'm not going to use it. So what are we going to do? We're going to call them. We're going to text them. And we're going to email. Why? Why those three? Because I'm lazy. I'm just starting out. I don't want to leave my computer. Okay? I want to do things in bulk. I want to try to generate warm leads. All right? These are all cold. The likelihood of me actually finding a deal, actually closing on it, is less than a warm lead. That's just statistics. Okay? I'm not sitting here trying to discourage you from working cold leads. Not at all. There is gold here. There is so much gold, not even, I can't even fathom it. We went over yesterday, on yesterday's video, we found one that was a pre-foreclosure. It's a perfect one to go door knock because it's not on other people's lists, right? But that's a cold lead. That's going to take time, sweat, and energy. So a lot of people don't like that. They're lazy. So they like to wait for the warm lead portion, right? They all want that easy button. That there is no easy button. So day one, you're going to call them, text, and email. What happens if they don't respond? If they don't respond, that's okay. You're going to wait 2 days. Mind you, what I'm putting on the board here, you guys can change and put to your own business. You can do every day. You can do something. The point of this is to make sure you understand that you have to come up with some systemized approach that works for your business, okay? Everything that I'm doing here, you might be sitting there saying, all right, well, I need a CRM to do all this. Bullshit. You don't need a CRM to do this. You can use Excel and put all those leads in, and all you have to do is track them, right? Move them over a column for the next day, and then just keep track of your leads. All right, don't make excuses that are going to stop you from doing the work. So day one, you call, text, and email. Nobody answers. You're going to wait 2 days. Do the same thing. Call, text, and email. Okay? Wait 1 day. Call, text, email. Call, text, email. Wait 3 days. Okay? Why? So why do I do this pattern? Because this works out to be the first week. I don't even know if you guys can read over there. No, it's fine. This works out to be the first week. You're going to take this lead and move it over from week 1 to week 2 now. All right? And now that you have it from week 1, now you're going to go into 7-day rotations. So you're going to text them at the start of week 2. Call, text, email. You can do another round of this, but you're really going to be badgering them, which is fine. In the beginning, badger the shit out of them. But after this, start rolling it back, all right? So now you're doing 7-day rotations. This brings you to week 3. Okay. From 7-day rotations, now we're going to go to 14. Geez, talk about putting me on my toes here. 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're at week 7. You guys see what I'm doing? Now I'm going to add one more week. Now it goes from 14 to it goes to 21. From 21, it then rolls over to 30 days. And at 30 days, it's just a rolling 30 day. Okay? And all you're doing is staying in front of them. Okay? All of this seems costly because it's so much work, so you think you have to have systems and things put in place. You can do all of this for free. Okay, you can use Zapier, and I believe Zapier gives you so many free automations. There are other tools out there. Hey D, I didn't even see you. Sorry. Hey D. There are other tools out there that allow you to keep track of things, all for free. Airtable is one good one that you can use as like a startup CRM, right? That is absolutely free. Don't make the problem in your head. All you have to do is actually put in the work. Now you have to realize day 1, that's 3 tasks for 1 lead. If you have 50 leads, you see how you can start to create work for yourself? So, and once you have 50 leads, and they're all going to be staggered out at different points of the program, right? Where is 123 Main Street compared to 5 West Avenue, right? Like, is one somebody that you just started warming up, or did they already return? Like, did they talk at the end of week 1? And they confirmed and they transferred over from a cold lead to a warm lead, right? You have to make sure you're keeping track of everything. And I cannot stress that enough. Why is it important? Because you have to understand that at no time is that lead dead. That lead is still worth money. That lead is still worth something, okay? Your whole goal is to spark interaction and convert it from cold to warm. Does any of this make sense? Does all of this make sense, this rambling? I hope it does. Once you convert it from cold to warm, you're going to do the same type of thing. A little bit different. Because now your goals are different. So now it's a warm lead, okay? Before I get into warm leads, I want to just touch on a couple of things. You have to make sure you're tracking responses when you're doing all that, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Do not give up on a lead, okay? If they haven't responded in that first week, in that first month, I don't care. Keep reaching out to them. There's no reason not to. Until they tell you not to, then keep reaching out to them. People usually fail because they give up, okay? I cannot stress this enough. Do not give up. And then another thing is change the message up, all right? Be creative. During all those times, every time you touch out to them, it should be something different, something unique. Some reason you're reaching out to them. Hey, I'm just reaching back out to check in. I'm sorry if I offended you. Try to, throw anything at them. Text messages. Hey, I had a quick question. Give me a call back, right? Anything to try to spark interaction. Make sure you're changing it up, all right? If you're trying to do this on the ease, go into Google Notes or go into, everybody should have an iPhone if you want to be a business person. Screw Android. Go into Apple Notes and create your own sequence, okay? Something that you can just copy and paste and say, hey, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, ABC, XYZ. Make your life easier, okay? It's a process. You have to have the steps in there to do it. If you need the steps, if you want to be lazy, I completely recommend you just click the link below and download all of our cadences, all right? Those are the actual steps. Those are the chats that we're sending out. All right. Warm follow-up doesn't mean that you've talked to them, okay? It means that they know that they have a problem, all right? What does that actually mean? What do I mean when I say that? A warm lead doesn't mean that you've made contact with them. A warm lead just filled out a form potentially also. All right, these could be PPC leads. These could be people that did call in. All right, but somewhere along the line, they've acknowledged that they've made, they have a problem. Right, they need help. Whether or not it's probate, whether or not it's pre-foreclosure, whether or not it's a tax lien, code violations, anything. Okay, somebody's reaching out for help. So your goal is no longer to educate and bring that to their attention. It's now to follow up with them, make offers, try to drive to get an appointment, get belly. At each step of your way, you're following up with them about the prior step, okay? So the days... The way to look at this one is going to be a little bit different, all right? These are all day one. Same thing, day one, wait 2 days. Right, +1, +3, that'd be week 1. I'm skipping letters and everything over here. But the difference in these is all the message. Okay, you're following up on the prior conversation. If it's a warm lead, hey, I'm reaching back out in regards to the form you filled out on our website. Okay, if you've made an offer, if it's post-offer, okay, this is also where people drop the ball. People will do post-offer, and they think they made the offer and they move on. All right, and then they get yelled at because their acquisitions manager is constantly like, what's going on with that deal? Well, I don't know. I made the offer, and she's just waiting on it. She's reading it. After you make the offer, follow up with them. See if they need to, anything else came about, right? Check on the cat. I don't care. Whatever grounds you broke when you first talked to that person, go back to them, right? Check in on the status of the family, right? If it's in pre-probate or probate, check in on the status of the courts. Just touch back with them. It doesn't have to be about the offer, okay? But understand where they are at in the process and always step back and use that as the reason you're calling them. Okay, I'm just following up with ABC. I just want to touch base, see if you've had any other offers, if any of that. I cannot tell you enough This is where the money's made. It's a fucking cliche saying that everybody says, but I'm telling you, everybody says it for a reason. Okay? This right here, these follow-ups is where you'll find more information, all right? No, we got another offer from a wholesaler. I'm getting a lot of sub-2 offers. That's okay. Don't act surprised. Don't act stressed. By now, every time you talk to them, these are all opportunities for you to reinforce that you're the professional, that you're the one that they should be working with, okay? So when you come up with these counter claims or whatever objections, as you like to call them, now you know how to handle them, okay? You've been you've been building rapport this entire time. That's another thing that you're constantly doing. You're constantly building up rapport, okay? Your job is to nurture them, not overwhelm them, and always add value. Okay, you have to make sure that you're constantly doing that. Every time when you're following up with ABC seller, have that in the back of your head, right? When you're going over your CRM or your notes or whatever, make sure you understand the point of this conversation, what your goals are of the conversation. Okay, all right, some of them are going to be, hey, I'm following up with this. Hopefully I can get them to sign the contract and move on to title. But a lot of times, follow-up isn't what that is, right? The intentions for some follow-up is just to get an appointment, is just to get some additional information, right? Maybe it's just to get, I'm going to blow your mind. There's follow-up after the contract's signed too, okay? Let me just throw that out there. I didn't even have that in today's presentation, but it just popped in my head. What does he mean by that? How do you follow up something you already signed? Because you still have to get that thing closed. Title's going to get involved, all right? And you're going to all of a sudden realize that you're going to have to go back to the seller and get more things signed, more hoops you got to jump through, all right? It's always going to happen. Something unforeseen is going to pop up, all right? You're in real estate. There's always something hiding in the closet. When that happens, guess what? That person that you've been having a hound for the past 6 months, badger, is now thinking that all their problems are solved. A lot of times they're ghosting. They're in the wind. They're just waiting on their payday. That's okay. Now you have to earn your money, right? You made it when you bought it, but now you're going to earn it, and you're going to make sure you can collect it, okay? Follow up again. Staying in front of that seller. You're building rapport the entire time. Guess what? If you need to do a price drop, it's going to be really easy for you because you've built up so much rapport, because you've done so much badgering and following up. Again, nurture, don't overwhelm. That is something that I can't stress. You always have to make sure you're not hungrier than them. Okay, hey, just checking in with you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Just checking in. Make sure you use first names if you can. So I'm not going to go into the rest of this and do 14 weeks. But I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to get across here, right? Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Click the link and you'll get our cadences. But you need to start understanding when you're working a lead, how you're going to work it. All right? People, if you want to do this for a living, this is how you're doing it. All right? If you want to be successful in real estate, this is how you're going to be successful in real estate. There are all tools out there that make your life easier, but when you're first starting out and all you have is a notebook, this is how you do it. All right? You keep track of everybody. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number them all. And then keep track of each one that you're working. When you start your day off, who am I following up with today? Are they warm leads, cold leads? Where are they at in the process? Have I ever talked to them before? Have I ever sent them mail? What are my points to getting my foot in the door? Right? What does that mean? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm just calling in regards to that mail that I sent last week. Oh, you didn't get it? Don't worry about it. I probably misspelt it, right? No, the mail in this country sucks anyway. Don't worry about it. The reason for my call, 1, 2, 3, Stalling tactics are something that you do come against. Every time you're following up, you want to make sure that you're highlighting the pain points, the timeline, okay, your goals, all these things. Make sure you're saying them to the person. Hey, such and such. I'm just reaching out about 123 Main Street, the property on Main Street, whatever you want to say, and make sure you put actual timelines in there, right? I can get this done in 2 weeks. If that's the case, if that needs to be done, say it. Another good one is re-engaging with an updated offer. Just touching base with them. Hey, has anything changed? I know it's been a couple weeks. Have you gotten further along with whatever the problem was? I was able to reevaluate some things, and I think I might be able to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not telling you to sit here and reevaluate and negotiate against yourself. Never. I'm not telling you to sit here and bump your offer up by $5,000. Not the case. But if there's something in the discussion that you're able to swing, meaning, all right, well, don't worry about the clean out. I'll be able to take care of that. Or, the tenants that are still in there, I'll be able to get them out for you. If you're able to tweak something for their pains, highlight it for them, right? It's always how you can help them, okay? Reminders, that was one of the last things I didn't talk about. Setting and using reminders on everything, okay? I can't stress that enough. They're all free, guys. Use Google, use your phones. People never use their phones the way they're intended. They want to go out there and pay for some third-party app. You don't have to, okay? Also, when you're following up with these people, you'll get into a pattern and you'll understand when the best part or the best time of day to follow up with them is, okay? So some people you're going to be following up with before noon. Some people you're going to be following up with after 6 p.m., okay? And get used to that. You're in a different business now. Not everything is 9 to 5. Some people only will answer after hours. That's fine. You have to realize there are other people in this line of work that don't work after hours. So that's more opportunity to you. Okay? Those hedge fund buyers and the VAs, sometimes they're not working after hours. So maybe that's time for you to put in some work. Split testing. That's also something that you guys really have to get into the habit of. Split testing everything. What is split testing? Split testing is literally just trying one thing on one person, something else on another, seeing which one's more productive, okay? If you're going to send out this day one text message, send out 3 different variations. See if one of them gets better response than the other, okay? Always be tweaking your process. If you realize that I'm getting a lot of responses after I send this one text message, well, maybe I bump that up in my order and I try to get that one sooner, okay? There are different responses that you'll get from different people. Sympathetic values, that was what I'm trying to say. So some things work better than others. You're gonna run into people that won't talk to you just because you're a male or female, okay? You're gonna run into that. It happens. If you're possible and you can work around that problem, so be it. If you're in a situation where you have a partner that's the opposite sex, that's awesome. If not, don't worry about it. Move on to the next one, all right? Always be available and be ready for it. That's all I got for today, guys. Unless anybody has anything that they want me to actually deep dive into, that's my 40-minute rant about following up. And I can't stress it enough. Everybody wants to talk about money being in the follow-up, but nobody actually does it. If you want the easy button, click the resources, download our cadences, and slap them into your CRM if possible. Or just, even if you don't have a CRM, you can download them and just use them as an example of like ways to spark interaction. Because that's all this is about, guys. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm not telling you one way is better than the other. It's all about effort, okay? There's no message that's going to be the best. You have to just put the message out there, right? And then constantly tweak it, constantly change it. Find the one that works best for you. If anybody needs anything, hop in our Discord. It's free for everybody. We're constantly giving out lists. I'm building lists. If anybody wants me to build a list, put it in Discord and I'll build it and I'll throw it out there. If anybody needs help and they want to learn how to actually wholesale and buy everything, if they want to start learning how to close everything, as we like to say in REIAF, join the Academy. It's in Discord. It's $100 a month. We're giving out free warm leads for you to actually work and talk to sellers. So all of that is in Discord. If anybody needs anything, reach out. We're always here. Keep crushing it. Love you guys. Peace.